Hello, everybody. Welcome. Merry Christmas. We are live again once more for the Spiritualist Christmas Day on findmeamedium.com and Find Me a Medium Facebook pages and YouTube pages organized by Veronica. And I'm here to do some more readings. So thank you for being with me today on Christmas. We're also broadcasting on Sacred Spiral. So please, hello, and come and share the love. Merry Christmas. I'm going to say hello to everyone coming on in. Hello, Day. Welcome. Merry Christmas. Hello, Andrea. Hello. Hello. Hello, Linda. Hello, Smith or Mia Jade. Hello, Jess. Hello. Hello, Evelyn. Hi. Merry Christmas to you, beautiful as well. Hello, Sue B. Merry Christmas. Hello, me and my shadow. Hello, Leah. Hello, hello. And please, everybody, share your Christmas epiphanies, magic, and anything else that is on your mind, please. Hello, Austin. We're going to be going into readings for the holidays, sharing some Christmas gifts in that fashion. And we're going to do so in just a moment, but I take a couple minutes to open the space up. Hello, Julie Thomas. Hello, welcome. I'm in Illinois right now, in the States for the holidays. So I'm here with family celebrating, and if everyone's traveling or at home, that is lovely. Blessings to everybody here. Exactly. For me, like, the holidays and Christmas are a time of reflection. In general, like for winter solstice or the energy of winter, it's a time where, it is cold, and the season of change has us go within and find what we want to bring back out within our self-creation once it gets warm again, once we're able to play in the world with more freedom with like the warm weather. It's metaphorical, it very is, but we go within and we try to like master or understand or work or heal with everything inside of us, right? Going within. We go within, we huddle, maybe with family, maybe with friends, maybe they help encourage the healing, or maybe we have to do so solo. But it is a time for us to transform. So, Merry Christmas, and hopefully you have some aha moments and realizations. People get really, hello, Darren, hello, Lydia. Jess, we had a good chuckle today when our dog stole 11 cookies off the counter. That's a lot of sugar for a dog. That's a lot of cookies for a human. Oh my gosh. But hopefully what I'm saying, and that's going to bring some good cheer along the way, hopefully you can find within yourself things coming up, because people get very emotional during the holidays. They either get like really happy and jubilant, or they're processing a lot, because this day helps reflection of many sorts, whatever what Christmas means to you, from like the religious or the family traditional, or just the role, what it plays of the many people. Just putting it out there. But like however reflective you feel and whatever comes out within you, I do think the universal message, because sometimes we close with a universal message, but I'm going to start with a universal message, is that allow yourself to feel those feelings, because they want to be changed, they want to be transmuted, they want to be understood, they want to be worked with, they want to be felt, they want to be loved, the parts of yourself. So we ask ourselves, why do we feel so much during the holidays? Well, I do think it's an invitation for healing. I really, really, really do. It's an invitation for how we go forward within the next year. And so take that as you will, but that's kind of my always holiday sensation and revelation. Okay. Hello and Merry Christmas from, oh, it's raining in California, in Solvang. I heard there's a lot of storms there. Hello, Soma. Welcome. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. I love your name. Marid? Myrid? Just let me know how to pronounce that. I love your name, though. Welcome. Hello, Bridget. Jess, spot on. I definitely been feeling the inward pull even more. Absolutely. And that's where all the goodies are. It doesn't feel like it, though. But they're waiting. They're waiting to be opened as a present, even though strange wrapping paper, as some people say it. I've heard people say that term before. Gifts in strange wrapping paper. Hello, Larby. You know what? I think I did bring my cards. I was going to do a mixture of like psychic and numerology readings today as we're starting to open up the space, but someone's just asking for cards, and I might have brought my cards because I'm not in my normal space. Let me see. I might have them in my bag next to me. I might not. So that will be a holiday surprise for myself a little bit. Hello, Michelle Harris. Hello, Carol. Oh my gosh, Evelyn's saying put a doggy diaper on for your dog who ate all the Christmas cookies. Maybe so. That's a lot of cookies. Luckily, he's a mastiff, so he's a big boy. He regrets nothing. Can his stomach take it? Maybe he can. I mean, wow. Merry Christmas, Tanya. Hello. Oh, cocooning with the kitties. That's perfect. Hello, Linda. Been emotional all day. I do think, because it is the holidays, and sometimes, we're not out and about if sometimes we're with family. I just have been noticing people around walking around the area and just the disposition. It feels more like a little bit of a quieter emotional Christmas. It does. Sometimes just that the universal energies are that way. I don't know how everyone else is feeling. Yeah, big boy for the dog. The Mastiff, Jess's Mastiff. Hello, PETA, excuse me. Hello, Michelle. Michelle? Ooh, that's a cool spelling. I haven't seen it that way before. I love that. Thank you. Hello, Jenny. Hello, Amy. Hello, Evelyn. Absolutely, Marid. Absolutely. Or Mared. Hello, Amy. Thank you. Hello. Okay, so let's see if I actually have my cards. I'm not going to 100% read with them, but I'll read along the way with them. They're in my bag right next to me if they are there. It's going to be, like I said, a Christmas surprise. Hello, Evelyn. Hello, Sandra. Okay, I'm going to go check. They're right here, maybe. Let's see. Do I have them? I don't know if I have them. Oh no. Well, I looked thoroughly. I thought they were right there. So someone asked, did I have cards? I thought maybe I did. I don't. So we're going to read without cards today, everybody. Thank you for letting me bustle around my bag for a moment. They have to be somewhere around here. I don't know where they are, though. Okay, so let's open up the space for readings. Hello, June. I almost called you June. My brain's not working right. Lynn. Lynn Juno. I almost called you Juno Lynn. Hello, Lynn. Hello, Lynn. Merry Christmas, my dear friend, as well. It's great to see you. Hello. Okay, let's get into readings, and I love that Lynn's here. Okay, so everyone, if you have a question, you can ask it, or you can tell me that you want a general, and that's how we will do it. If you want to post your numbers, that helps me get into the energy. If you want to post your month and day, and please write it out, because in different countries it is backwards. So if you're born in May, like write out May, M-A-Y. and that's how I'll know to work with your birth date. Or you can just say I want a reading and I might go to you too, okay? So that's how I'll go. I guess Jess has all this energy, maybe because of her dog. But I'm gonna go to Jess first. Okay. Hi, Jess. Do you have a question, Jess? Jess's dog ate them as a dessert. Talking about the cookies more? Let me see. Sandra's asking, how do I decide for a reading? I just go to where I feel. Okay? I just go to where I feel. And then sometimes it helps if I see your numbers. Like Jess put down her numbers in the comments. That helps me open up the energy. Okay. You're welcome, Jess. Okay. Let's see. I'm just gonna like see what comes in. Like the first thing right away that I get for you, Jess, is I see a lot of purple around you, which is great. It's like different shades of purple, and it's signifying that not only are you doing a lot within your spirituality and using your psychic senses and your mediumship abilities, but you're holding space within that too. And the different shades of purple let me know about that. So I just, it sounds funny if I say congratulations to a medium as well, because I know you do mediumship, but I'm almost feeling like congratulations, like you've further solidified how you wanted to be within this work and actually held space for the type of person you want to be within your personal life. I say that because it's like it's a mixture of making room and reasserting like ideals within life, and you're finding that it's not you don't have to be jaded. You're finding that you don't have to do things a certain way unless you want to, and you're actually like starting to go your way for your reasons, and you're opening up that space back to these authentic parts of you that you've always wanted to apply to where you are now. If you can understand this. And you're saying absolutely spot on. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Thank you for understanding. It's because we have the deep purple, and then we also have lavender, a lot of lavender coming in. And lavender is like a softness, and it relates to our inner child sometimes, and it relates to the way that we work and see life within others. We can actually give that back to others, and so we have to, again, hold space in our energy to a certain degree in order not to just feel it, want it, but actually say, I'm going to be this way despite all the stuff that I get where I have gotten, where people really haven't given me that same grace. So there's a rainbow actually opening as I say this. And so there's a rainbow of self-acceptance on multiple levels, if you can understand this. Thank you. And there's been a lot of review. So there's been a lot of review of life, of emotion, of preferences, of choices. I just want to say this on a deeper level. I'm acknowledging your self-reflection and your openness, despite that you weren't given that place by other people many different times within friendships, within relationships, within the way that you were raised. I'm acknowledging that, and like the spirit world is very proud of you within that. So there's a lot of joy and celebration, and keep going that way forward. There's a lot of yellow coming in for you too. It's definitely been a review year. Absolutely. I haven't even looked at your numbers. I'll look at it in just a second, but I just have to acknowledge the colors first. There's a lot of yellow coming in for you, so that's the acknowledgement of the review year, like more validation within that. And it's also like I'm going to look at your numerology to confirm this, but I can just feel it within you. The review year is setting you up to do a lot of things for next year. So for 2026, it's like you needed that pause. And there's a lot of different roads. Like I'm seeing like Wizard of Oz, Yellow Brick Road. You have so many different ways that you can go and want to know about, and will go. So you get to travel on that road next year. You're like owning your wizard self. That sounds funny, but I also want to acknowledge there's an invitation, if you want it to be, to look more into teaching. Okay. This is a place that I feel like you want to do, and this is a place that's flowering open. It's not like I don't see it like lightning, like it's just gonna come. It's like, no, you have to open this space up, and you have to start again reviewing and looking at it, and that's something that you can do within the future, like more than just a guidance level if you want to, but you have to continue to open the space. It's one of the roads that you could travel on, but you have to clear that road. And you said, oh yes, I feel that I found myself a much deeper level, which will absolutely help. Okay, absolutely, yeah. Yeah, you're going to be able to facilitate that space for others. So let me just like look at your numerology for a second, Jess. Okay, so attitude 5, and you're going into a 6 personal year. Okay, got it. Okay, so something that comes up that I always give people a heads up on is like, this is another definitive year for you, Jess. And so you're going to find your tribe more, and then you can continue to figure out what role you want to play in your tribe, because sometimes we need to find better people around us, but like depending on who's around us, it brings out different sides. And then there's like just some archetypes that we have that are perennial, that just like stay with us. Like I'm the healer of the group, I'm the mother of the group, I'm the, if you always want to be the leader, if you always want to be the supporter, you'll understand that through your own individual personality. So I'm just highlighting that, but it's really a year of finding your tribe and solidifying your tribe. And during this time, it's like the inception of, so it's not like I get a slam dunk, my people are going to come to me. Like, please be patient with yourself. It's finding that further and actually like clearing space within that. So you've really outgrown a lot of relationships. You'll continue to grow out of relationships, and you're going to have to tell people no and assert your boundaries. So all this hard work that you've been doing is for a good reason. It really is. I'm seeing candy canes around you, I'm sure because it's Christmas. But interesting. It's kind of like allow yourself to share, allow yourself to receive as well as give. And so there has to be more balance with that within friendships. That comes out for a second. And also there needs to be more attention to detail with friendships. I feel like once you've had acceptance with somebody, you're pretty like open-minded with them. Even though you see red flags, you'll be like, hey, like they've already passed this test, they're my ride or die, and sure, I'll watch out for things, but like they wouldn't do that. And it's just like, even though they've passed your initial, are they a person for you or somebody you trust or like, still be very detailed with who they are, and help yourself to have conversations with them that are needed. And you'll know how to do that if you keep track of the details. So rather than being all accepting or seeing, but then not doing the extra work to talk to them, that needs to be rectified a little bit more. Okay, so that's what comes up, and it's really going to resonate. And thank you for understanding. Thank you for understanding. That's really going to rectify itself for next year. Okay, that's like a huge thing. Okay, so Jess, thank you for understanding, and I appreciate it. And Merry Christmas. It's great to see you. I love your energy. All right. I'm going to go to Mia Jade. Absolutely, Jess. I appreciate you too. Thank you so much. I'm going to go to Mia Jade. All right. Thank you for giving me your numbers, Mia Jade. So 7-7. Another attitude 5. Look at that. We follow patterns when we read always. And I'm going to just finish up with making sure I have your life path. Yep. So your life path 4. Okay. Absolutely, Jess. Thank you. Okay. So Mia Jade. This is some of the things that I said, not everything because you guys have different numbers, but some of the things that I said for Jess will apply for you and to you. This is a year of redefining your personal tribe around you, like your support system, those who are close to you, friends and family. Like you get to really call the shots with how you're feeling and saying, I need this now, or this is really not working for me. And to really look at life with that scrutiny and be responsible for that. Okay, so that's something that's coming up. It's okay sometimes to be scrutinizing, and sometimes we need to be, even if we don't want to be. Okay, and that comes up as a message, as a theme. You are somebody who likes to have structure. You're somebody who needs to have structure to a certain degree every once in a while. It's imperative if you can understand that. You're very intuitive and even impulsive too sometimes, but ultimately you come back to a structure. So I want to acknowledge that you're both, but you're very much heightened in both ways. So it's not contradictory. You just need some of this at sometimes, and you need some of this at sometimes, and it's not just a little; it's a lot of. You're saying absolutely spot on. Redefining who is in my tribe. Let a lot of people go, and also detached from those not supportive. Yes, it will continue to be a theme going into next year because both you and Jess, since you're connected with like your attitude numbers being the same, both you and Jess are going into a number of emotional inventory when it comes to friends and family. That's the theme of the year, and it will play out in a lot of different ways constantly. Okay, so understand that at the beginning of this year, 2026, it will also be a quieter time for you. So you'll amp up the self-reflection, and you'll get yourself more prepared for making these changes. So even the first 2 months are going to be a little bit more quieter into yourself and reflective, that word. So you're really looking into starting your year. I know that sounds funny. Sometimes people start their years a little bit later because they just need a moment. Your year is going to really feel like it starts in March. Okay. And you're saying, yes, I thrive off structure, very intuitive, impulsive, and heightened in both, and they help balance me out. Absolutely. The reason why you have both, because not everyone has both. Some people are one or the other, or not as extreme. The reason why you have both is your attitude 5 and your life path 4. 5 is like, I need to go, and do, and that's a very real part of you. But ultimately, the 4, and that's what you've come into, and is still very much a part of you too, is about like, I need to learn, I need to go at a steady pace, I need things to be planned, I need things to be practical and functional. And so the more you've matured into your life, truly, it's not just because of maturity for maturity's sake, it's because that really your body does and your brain does best when ultimately things are mostly planned and primed the way as needed. So always going to validate that for you, but right. When you're impulsive, it's for the intuitive reason, and you just gotta go, and you just gotta go have fun, because that's a real part of you too. if you can understand this too, I'm just kind of validating your energy. You have a personal day 7. So within this placement, sometimes people don't approach you very often. And you kind of go, "Whoa, why is that? That's kind of frustrating." And it's only because you have a 7 in this placement that makes people do that. So if certain numbers make people come to us and certain people make us how can I put words in me today? Certain numbers make people approach us, and other numbers make people feel like we want space or we want quiet, like they don't want to come on up because they would impose. So it's not that they're always avoiding us. It's just really they go, oh, like I don't feel like she wants to be bothered right now. So it creates situations where people don't always come up to you. So when I see this placement, I just encourage people to let people know that they're social if they want to be social, or really if you like somebody or want to be friends with somebody or connect with somebody, you're going to have to sometimes go up to them first and let them know your preferences. And that usually takes care of the problem. You have to set the expectation. Okay, and that spontaneity in you would definitely help that. Let me see. And you said earlier on something I said prior. Yes, literally this week, been reflecting and feeling I need to further detach and keep my distance. Yeah, I think there's a resurgence of what your wants and needs are. And so it's coming into a time of like rebirth and revitalization. So I'm really seeing like the whole like shedding skin, a cycle reset, even though you're not up for a massive one just yet, but you're starting the process and it actually feels like you're becoming a different person already over the next 3 years. And it could have already started like, even 2 years ago. So this could be a 5-year process for you or a 6-year process, but definitely over the next 3 years into 4, you are going to be having like this rebirth and revitalization, and it's just going to keep amping up on who you want to be and how you want to do things differently. I feel like it's funny because I get this sign like you're putting a seatbelt. So it's one of two things. When I see you put in a seatbelt, sometimes we see things and we don't know what they are. So I'm just going to talk about it and just be honest. I see you wearing a seatbelt, so it's almost like I'm going to make sure I'm better protected with the people around me and I'm making better choices. Or it could mean that I'm going to make sure I'm better protected and I'm setting myself up better. And so it's a nod to, and I do think there's something about this. I'm buying better for myself. I'm giving myself better quality. I'm giving myself better, like you're actually able to, as well as you are saying, it's kind of like now or never when, I'm going for it. Life's too short kind of feeling. Like everything that you're buying better quality because you feel like, yeah, it's worth it. You only have one life. Okay, so it's a part of securing, but then in a further way, if you can understand this, and really, it feels good. It feels like you're properly taking care of yourself, and you'll continue to do that with the better choices and really feeling why. And so, like the last thing I'm going to say to you, Jade, is like really look continuously into your whys, not just because it feels better, but why does it feel better? Like when we get something better, and this is just one avenue of the many questions you'll be asking yourself. When we buy something better, when we do something better, when somebody's a better fit for our life, how does it make us feel? Does it make us feel then confident? Does it make us feel secure? Does it make us feel elated, happy? And why do we need that one emotion? Why haven't we given ourselves that emotion before? And there's many, many, many different questions you can ask, like in different orders and in different ways, but the whys of how you've gotten to where you are, I think you need to go deeper, because I do think you know the surface questions to those, but you need to know, why did you allow yourself for this long to be okay with some of the things that you're now changing? And what do you do now that you think are okay, but when you review within yourself that actually that's not okay either, and you should probably start changing that too. And so that's where I want to usher you forward with all the change and transformation in. Let me just look at your comments too. So you're saying absolutely correct. Feeling resurgent cycles closing, ready for new chapters. Been a very difficult 5 years change have emerged. So the 5 years of hardness going on. Yep. Yes, it's going to change though. You're smack dab in it. Keep going. That's awesome. Thank you for understanding. You're saying yes, put more healthy boundaries in place with other people, more assertive for myself, and want to focus on self-care and becoming the best version of myself. Yes, been buying and striving for better quality in everything. Absolutely. I love it. It feels great. I'm giving you a thumbs up because like if not in this life, then when? If not soon, again, then when? If not you liking it and feeling like the true you, then when? So I think this is all great. You're truly transforming. Thumbs up. Sending love. Just validating it. Thank you so much, Mia, for letting me read for you. I appreciate that. Merry Christmas. Okay. Thank you, Just Jody. I appreciate when people send love. Thank you. Let's see. All right, I'm going to go to Ann Iva. And you're saying it's May 31st. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you, Mia Jade. Okay, and Ida. So what I'm getting from you is like boundaries are really important. Okay, so there is a lot of intensity and desire for things to be a certain way, but I feel like boundaries are needed for what is good for you, and also the information that you are getting from the situations around you. Okay. It's a year we're the theme of the day is reflection. I've been telling everybody to reflect in different ways, and anytime you see an attitude 9 in somebody's chart and you have an attitude 9, it's about like making sure that we are doing things in a way that honors us. We are influenced by people or influenced by the way we think we should be. And also sometimes we go full force with things that we think are good for us. And really it's kind of like, because 9s are so empathetic and sensitive, and they pick up all these lessons in the world around them. Sometimes it's about like just sitting still and going, what do I want? Not because like it looks a certain way or I think it would be good for me, but it's like, really, what do I want? And how can I start that process of trueness and authenticity within myself where I feel like I can actually get what I want? So I feel like there's a huge leap between what you want and what you can get sometimes. And we all have that in life. We go, how do I close in the gap? My God, that's what life's all about. I'm always learning to close in my gaps. And so it's kind of like, okay, where are my first steps? My step 1, my step 2, my step 3. And how can I grab those steps? And then that step 4 is a little wobbly to get what I want. So then from 3 to 4, what can I do to, again, change the outcome for me, learn, and then now attain the next step with a reliability? And then we keep doing that and we keep doing that. So what I'm seeing for you, Anne, is there needs to be, rather than fantasy and wishing and longing, that next step for connection, or that next step to have the relationship, there needs to be the understanding of what comes next. And then you go, yeah, that's totally something I can have. That's totally something the other person would give me or be responsive to, because I'm able to see that next step clearly. So I feel like, to have that next step, we have to make sure we're not just dreaming. We have to make sure we're not just longing, and to take full responsibility for the next step. And you're saying things were difficult last year, and what I wanted didn't work. Yes. And so it's about, like, with what can work, you are saying, I'm able to control this part, or I'm able to manifest this part, my part, because in a relationship, there's two parts and you can't control the other person's part. And so you go, hey, I know I'm able to do this. And in order to find someone to build a relationship with, they're going to have to be able to respond to this or meet me here. And if they can't, then I know, as much as I'm into them or like them or they like me, I know that the relationship doesn't have the legs to stand unless that person's able to show up, or unless the timing is right. Sometimes you can have a wonderful person, just the timing's not right. So continue to eliminate the, I wish the hopes, or it doesn't work, but let me try to keep, trying to make it work. Just be okay where it doesn't work right now. And what happens is you instead of putting stress about making it so, you open up the space, and actually it relaxes the space for you or your potential partner to really get their head straight, to go, maybe I can do something to make this relationship work. Like, maybe I can actually apply myself, or maybe I can just see things how they are, and accept that, and then you open up that space for someone who can come in. So then the number one thing that's coming in, there's a lot of fantasy, and we all have, it's love, we all have fantasies. I am not knocking you for feeling that way at all. I'm just saying that every single time you're moving forward and there's not some major steps in place, and there's just wanting and wishing, it's a pattern, I feel, that comes up, and then you're like, I'm not able to have this. And really you are. You just have to accept, like, okay, it's not working, and I have to tell the person, in order for it to work for me or for us, it has to be like this. And what happens is your partner, or the good match actually for you, will buck up and say, oh, if I do want to be with you, I have to do this. Or you can each respect each other and give each other boundaries, with, hey, like, we can't push something, and it's essentially pretend like this can work if we can't even get to see one another, and we can't even get to do the next step. So that is what I'm saying. Like, it's all about, as I close the reading, it's all about making sure that you're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, rather than 1, 2, 3. Oh gosh, he's so amazing, he gives me these feelings, and I'm able to go to step 3 with him. Oh, I wish I could only go to step 4. And I wish I could only go to step 5. And then you give months and months and months of time to wishing and longing. Oh, he's a potential, if only. And it's like, really, we did not get past step 4, and we have to get to step 8 to be in the relationship. So as soon as there's issues with step 3, be very, very honest with yourself and him or your partner, and just be like, in order for me to take this seriously and to be healthy onto myself, I have to make sure I keep going to step 4 and step 5 with you. And maybe you want to do that too, but we just have to actually make sure it happens. And sometimes there's innocent things of why it can't happen, okay? But notice that as a sign where the certain things that you need to make it go all the way to a relationship is not there. It could just be distance. It could be no one's fault. It could be a work situation. It could be no one's fault. But the variables are there where it can't go all the way. Okay? It could be the timing, sure. Or it could be the person. But the person or the timing are not adding up. And you have to respect that. And you have to go, I love myself enough to know that there's other people out there that could give me that. Or I love myself enough to know that the timing's not right with this individual. And that's giving boundaries to not further wasting your time with the longing, okay? I don't think it will improve. I do not think, like, unless we get to a really different timeline with this person, because people can change with time. I don't think it's currently going to improve. And so that's what I'm trying to say to you right now. I don't think it's currently going to improve. Love yourself and know that there's more fish out there in the sea. If it is not working with the timeline, he could be a wonderful person, but he's not able to do certain things with you to get to the next step. And I do think that will be a repeating thing that will come up with him. And I do think that's a repeating thing that has come up for you before within other people. And so I'm going to give you that. Absolutely. Thank you. Merry Christmas. And I love that you love so much. And I love that you love so much. So with something so precious, go out there and know how greatly it needs to be honored, and know that you can have the pinnacle of that. Just keep working, keep going forward. I send you a lot of love. Hello, Michael Christopher. I'm helping out with, so people are wondering with the banner, I'm helping out with Find Me a Medium, my findmeamedium.com, and the Facebook and YouTube page, because they are having a Christmas marathon. They had it much earlier today because it was with UK times, and so it's later at night right now. It's in the afternoon for me where I am. But that is why I am on here. Some of the people are wondering. Some of the people know, and some other people are wondering. I'm going to go to Trish Cook. Trish, you have a question. Okay, yes. Hello, Kweezy. Hello, Ash. Hello, Georgina. Hello, Heidi. Hello, Arnie. Hello, and everybody else. It's Ashraf Siddiq. Ashraf. Hello. So, Trish Cook, are you here? I'll see you later. Off to dinner. Oh, yeah. Merry Christmas, Michael. Merry Christmas. Definitely. We're going to try to do like some type of New Year's Eve, whether it's a marathon or gathering. So we're trying to put that together, and everyone's just trying to reach out as they go with all the Christmas stuff. So yes, Michael, I definitely need to follow up on that. Thank you for the reminder, and wishing you a Merry Christmas. Have a great dinner. Okay, Trish, and you want a general. Okay, let me scroll up and find you again. Okay. And Trish, is that May or April that you gave me? I have to make sure the month. Can you let me know? Thumbs up. Thank you, Trish. You gave me your birthday, but is it May or April since you gave me numbers? I'm just waiting before I go into doing your numbers. Just for a moment. I think I can do some of your numbers now while I wait. Just double checking. 9. So you're 1. Okay, thank you. You're April. Okay, thank you. Okay. Just mixing. Okay, thank you. All right, so we have another attitude 9. So look at that. The first 2 readings were attitude 5s, and the next 2 readings with Anna, she's an attitude 9, and Trish is an attitude 9. So the numerology patterns just continue coming. Okay. Thank you. Oh, I love Evelyn's positivity and cheer always. She's saying holiday greetings in the comments. She just brims with positivity. So I always like to acknowledge that. Thank you, Evelyn, for just your goodness. And Jessie Cat, hello, hello. Hi. Okay. So you're wondering about, will my financial money situation get better, please? Okay, so something that comes up, it's pretty standard. Whenever I see, again, boundaries with attitude 9, nines always classically have to advocate and follow up very strongly with what they want. Okay, because they're natural helpers, they're natural givers. If there's something going on within life, they're very accepting of, like, oh yeah, that's what's going on. You take care of you, and I'll be back here when you want to talk about it. And what happens is that the nines, since they're so compassionate with other people, things happen and then they're left to kind of pick up the pieces on their own, or they're left to deal with it. And everyone else got helped, or another person got helped, and all of a sudden they're in their same situation and they're like, what the heck, this is horrible. So a theme about 9 is forgiving a lot of people, unfortunately, and also making sure that you are walking in saying, here are my needs. Here are my needs, and I'm going to follow up on that. So when you're talking about finances, a lot of times 9s are not always paid for the job that they're doing, and they have to negotiate that properly. They have to have conversations with people and saying, like, look, I'm doing all this extra work. I need to be compensated. The last person that had this job, or other people, like, they're not expected to do this and that, or come on. I think you get it. Help everyone give a lot. Yeah, exactly. So you're just validating all the things that I'm saying, and then you're saying true with understanding about that. So you have to actually make sure that you are advocating for yourself, and what you're doing is valuable. How you help people in multiple avenues is valuable. So that's a huge part of you making that situation easier for yourself, rather than saying, like, hey, like, why am I suffering this way? That's going to change a lot of things night and day, and also create a lot more situations where you're not feeling like you're having to deal with extra. And I'm talking about this in not just the financial realm. Let me just look for a second. Luckily, so next year is we talk about cycle changes in numerology a lot, and there's mini ones and there's big ones, and you have a really big one coming up next year in 2026, like a transformation of self, where you actually change some of your personality. That's what happens when we change so hard. We actually start to say, I'm sure I'm the same person on certain levels, but I've said goodbye to this part, and I feel differently now in this part, and I'm starting to making completely different choices as well. You have already sat with that this year and seen that start to happen, even though it's not completely in effect. It's going to happen more dramatically next year. It's easier for you to change. It's easier for the things to change around you. If you can understand, this year already, you've already had some, whether or not they just submitted because they just felt like they should treat you differently, or you've actually had the conversation. So if you could understand this, but the people around you have started to act different, and you've started to actually have different tolerance, if you can understand this already. So you're asking about that, and I'm really seeing that's the number one kind of issue going on. I also think that there has to be there needs to be changes at work. If you can understand this, I'm not quite seeing that clearly, but there needs to be changes at work. I feel like there's stress around that. I'm not getting a lot of detail. I'm just getting a sign for, I kind of know what I want to do with my life, but it's not exactly singing for me. with how it makes me feel. You said, done a lot of that in the last month. Thank you for understanding what I said and totally understand this. There needs to be a further stepping up for acknowledging. I feel like it goes back to experience level, like to acknowledge I have all this experience. I am worth this amount. I am worth this amount. I bring this to the table. I am worth this amount, but I feel like it's an experiential thing. So I don't feel like there's a job reset, rather a job acknowledgement, and like the way that you deal with people and talk to people, that needs to be reset. And I feel like that's directly correlated with job. Take that into account. That's what comes up. So I'm going to love and leave you with that, Trish. Thank you for being open to a reading. Jennifer, hello. There's my friend Jennifer. Merry Christmas, Jennifer. It's great to see you. We're doing readings on Veronica's page. Find me a medium. Hello, hello. So I'm going to do a couple quick ones. And that's how come we'll work with the energy right now. Hello, Maria Gonsalves. Hello, hello. It's great to see you. Merry Christmas. I love you too, Jennifer. Hello. Oh man, it's all man, women. I don't know how to put it. All wonders. It's nice to see people that you love in the house. Absolutely, Trish. Thank you for understanding. Merry Christmas. Okay, let's go to a couple of people here quickly as we start to close the hour. We're going to do a lot of mini readings. I'm going to go to Mandy. Mandy, if you have a question, ask it, or I'm just going to go generally into your energy. Someone just wait 1 second. Mandy, you are attitude 4, and you are, I believe, let me just double check the math. You are a life path 6. That is correct. And so Mandy, family is very, hello. Mandy, family is very important for you. And understanding a certain degree of responsibility within the family is very crucial to your happiness. There has been a lot of emphasis in family and home life this year for 2025, if you can understand this. And it's going to continue that way, but in different roles in 2026. There is a lot of change coming, so there's an indicator of move within the family, and I feel like this is doesn't just affect you. I'm like really fixated on family, but there's career change. It could be your partner or it could be you, but there's going to be a career change and impacting the family. So I'm aware of move impacting family. Okay, so embrace those changes. And continue to redefine what your needs are during that time, because they're supposed to be different. You're going into a year of experiencing differences, adventure, changes. Embrace that it's not the slow and steady. Embrace that it's not the plan and reliable. There's going to be a different way of life coming into being. And I encourage you to travel. Anytime I see someone coming into a 5-year for themselves, it's all about give yourself, while it's a little bit more chaotic than normal, give yourself the gift of travel. Okay, it's within your chart to adventure and expand, rather than that solely being like catching balls and going, oh, I'm expanding, this is a lot. Satisfy the energy with giving yourself actually adventure and pleasure within that too as well. So please make sure travel is planned. I actually feel like travel is planned for you. I'm seeing something by the sea. Interesting. There's something by like a sea or boat or traveling, looking at the pier, something like, can you understand this, Mandy? I'm just gonna say, I feel like travel's already planned, and I feel like there's gonna be more opportunities to travel too. Please take them. Do not think one is enough. You can always be creative with how your other ones are. But it will sharpen your mind and deepen your love and bond with others. So I'm going to love and leave you with that. Mandy, if you can understand how that is, you can let me know. I'm going to go to Charlene. Charlene, do you have a question, Charlene? I'm doing a lot of mini fast ones, everybody. Charlene, do you have a question? If not, I'm just going to do general. Yes, you understand. Thank you for understanding. I appreciate that. Thank you, Mandy. Okay, Charlene, I'm going to go into a general. You can let me know if you have a question. Oh, gosh. So we have another attitude 4. I don't make this stuff up. Charlene's an attitude 4, and Mandy's an attitude 4. Can't make this stuff up. So there is a theme with basically massive change coming, shaking things up. That's good because I think that's something that you want. Thank you, Mandy. Thank you for understanding. Fantastic. Charlene, you have a chance around the let me kind of pinpoint it. Around the mid-year, actually think earlier than mid-year. I think it might manifest more like September, October, but around May, like June time, you have a chance to have like a turning point within what you've been striving to do. I just keep seeing as fall comes into being. So like October is going to be a very important time where this manifests. There is actually a different way that you start to offer readings. It could be a different location. It could be a different style. I don't know, but something about your work is going to change and it's going to be a better fit for you. So it's not just a more thing. It's not just a if people are responding thing. It's actually something you're doing and the way that you're doing with mediumship and the way that you are having your daily being, your daily schedule. Okay, so that's nice. I do think a change is needed. I also think with change, and this is the last thing I'm going to say, unless you have a question, I don't think. Okay, the last thing that I'm kind of seeing is I feel like there's the way that you utilize time within your everyday life that needs to be looked at more sharply, because I do think all of a sudden there's a bunch of stuff happening at once and you're like, okay, like we're going, and then it's like and it's like actually kind of like stressful in a way. Like it's great, but like that rhythm can't be sustained. And then there's like all this empty time where you're just kind of like this nervous energy and you're like, I just want more of the busy stuff. And it's just like, it needs to be evened out. It needs to be evened out. And so if you could kind of figure out within your lifestyle of how to help even out your energy, like we go for walks or we journal, or even if you wanted to collect ideas for writing a book, when the energy is not being utilized, it needs to give you something, and sometimes you just need a rest. Ugh, I have to sneeze, so that must be something's about that. You just really need to rest, Charlene, and you will utilize all your time better and allow yourself to rest, because I just feel like this restless energy, even when you have a chance to rest, that you're not fully resting. So utilize your time more efficiently, more health consciously, and the good stuff will get even better because you are taking care of yourself. Okay. Do you feel like I would move again? I feel like that is something that is relevant. I don't see things right. I don't feel things right away. Okay? I do feel like a move is possible. I think a relationship would actually influence that move. Or I feel like it's thought about. I feel like it's relevant. I could say a lot with that, but I feel like this year is definitely gonna make you feel that. and you get to decide continuously what you want to do about that. But I just feel like I am where I'm at and I'm not changing my house quite yet. But I feel like it's relevant. Okay? So trust that, grow that. I just don't feel like a location change for house. Maybe a location change for job or where you're reading, or like how you have access to doing more within your work. I wouldn't be surprised about that. But like house seems like I have a lot going on and I'm here, and if I want to continue to grow, then yeah, maybe I can start looking at that. But I feel too overwhelmed in other areas for you to have the house change, if that makes sense. Okay. Thank you for understanding. Thank you. Yeah. That's totally viable, but I don't, yeah, it's coming up later. Just gonna say that it's coming up later. I don't see the change this year, or definitely not early at all. Okay, thank you, Charlene. Okay, thank you. I'm gonna go to I'm gonna go to Hannah. Hannah, do you have a question? Merry Christmas, everybody. Hello, Jennifer. Hello, Melody. Hello, Crim Princess. Hello, Sunshine. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. So, Hannah, General, okay. Just looking at your numbers. Another attitude 4. Triple attitude 4. Another attitude 4. That's so funny. So fascinating. Okay. Let's see here. Then you are life path 8. And let's see here. So, all right. We're doing mini readings right now, and if you have an attitude 4, everybody, and the last 3 people have attitude 4s, it's really an invitation for travel and change and allowing your life to be different. And that's going to come up in many different ways. 5 is the number of change, and anyone who has an attitude 4 and going into 2026, they need to expand. And we're not talking about just mental expansion. 5 is a physical number, so it means location change, it means job change, or it means I get to get out of my normal sorts and my normal environments, and I'm somewhere different. Okay, like I said, that can transpire in many different ways for many different people depending on their chart and their energies. But the 5 is restless. It needs variety. It needs surprises. It needs a little bit of the unexpected. That's how you come out of your shell when you have 5 energy that needs to be enacted all year long. So that's relevant to you, Hannah, that is relevant to you. Something that does come up into the mix within your job, because you are a life path 8. Every time I see a life path 8 within somebody, they need to be in some type of role where they're in management, where they are leading, or they have a lot of autonomy in order to be happy. Okay? It's because of the fact that like 8s are very, very good with getting things done. They're very efficient, they're very smart, they're very detailed, and usually they excel in that category where they are one of the best in the room or the best in the room, and thus because of that they don't like to be told what to do, and they want to just be trusted with the expertise that they have and the experience that they have. So you need, again, like I said, a lot of autonomy within your job, or you need to actually lead others and show people how it's done, how it can be done, in order to have happiness. Good, you have your own business. Thank you for understanding that. That makes sense with that too. Perfect. Then that's a huge thumbs up if you have your own business. Yeah, it's an imperative with eights, the autonomy, the flexibility. Got it. Perfect. And what's coming up within that for you is actually a change within the business. Okay, like a change within a new skill. So taking on something to expand business by actually learning a different skill, or applying something that has not been applied yet. But it's not just like we do this better. It's actually bringing something in, like a different offering, or from your skill enhancement, you're saying, now I have this credential, so I can do this with the business. Okay. So there's a part of you or a part of the business that directly enhances because of this. Okay. I just learned animal Reiki. Awesome. You'll continue to do something else though. You'll continue your learn. You're not done learning. Okay. It makes sense why you would have. That's awesome. By the way, that makes sense because you're in a 4-year right now. You're going into a 5. 2025 is a 4-year for you, and that's all about like schooling and home life and the house and knowledge. So that makes sense why your studies are in full effect. I feel like there is more to be studied, more to be applied. And you'll be like redefining what you're doing within business. You'll be taking what you already learned. Believe me, that's not to the wayside at all. It's just there's more to go, and you're going to surprise yourself of what comes into the mix. Okay. And so for you around June and September, this really highlights itself. June and September of 2026. You want to learn mediumship too? Okay. Hey, look at all these defining pieces coming in. One of them is going to stick much harder than the others. But yes, it's more validation of there's more to learn. There's more to apply. Okay. You're not done learning. There's more to learn. There's more to apply. I also feel like there is a fur baby coming on in, unless you just recently got one. Hannah, I just want to give you some like feelings of what I feel. Oh, you have a fur baby in your little, you have a cat with antlers on. That's interesting. But I feel like there's another animal coming on in, unless you just got your animal. Because I just feel like there's newness, there's change, there's like the sweetness coming in to help to develop who you are. And you're saying 5th cat just decided to move in. Okay. Wow. Okay. You just got another cat. Thank you for understanding that. Okay. So the reason new animals come in is because, again, like I was saying, like this newness, this sweetness, they help hold space for the new parts of you trying to emerge. Okay. It's like, animals like an extension of our soul, or helps us to bring out the next part of our soul when we're ready. And so this little, I almost want to, unless I see an animal's gender, I don't know, but I almost want to say this little mister, that could be wrong. I'm just honest if I don't know something. But this little animal is coming in to help you not play it safe. If you can understand, like, this animal's a little bit spastic, if I may say. If you can understand this. I'm a big animal lover. Yes, he's a tomcat. Thank you for understanding that. He's a little spastic. And so he's encouraging you to take more chances too as well, okay? So thank you for understanding the new addition to the family within the animal kingdom, the fur baby realm. Lots of more good things to come. I also feel like the color red is important for your tomcat boy, or for you. And the red is the color of business, entrepreneurship, and leadership. So get stronger within yourself, and don't be afraid to tell people no, and be okay if certain things aren't at the right time, even if it's a great opportunity. And those are the messages coming in for you. Red is your favorite color. Yeah, hey, makes sense. Thank you for understanding. Wear more or harness more red. Like I said, it's the color of leadership and entrepreneurship. Embrace it. Okay. All right. Cool. Thank you so much. Merry Christmas. Thank you. I'm gonna go to, let's see here. I'm gonna go to Debbie. Debbie Ontiveros. Do you have a question, Debbie? Just gonna wait a moment. General. Okay, thank you, love. Okay, attitude 9 and life path. Life path 4. Okay, attitude 9, life path 4. That is correct. Okay. So you have another anyone with attitude 9 and going into their cycle number of 1 for next year. So you're going to be in a 1 for 2026 for your personal year. The world is going into a year of 1 too as well. So what happens is that this is a massive redefining of self. Okay. You get to live more daringly, you get to live more bravely, and it's not just a how can I have the courage? You're just going to be it. You're just going to do it. It will get contested because you are transforming. It's not just like it's going to be pure ease, but you're in a place within your life where things are truly different. And to honor that, you get to set the way with family. You get to set the way with having more. And I do think that's the message coming in for you. You get to set the way with having more. And it's okay to have more. It's okay to want more. It's okay to push people for more. And let people know that you need more. Okay? So with love, that's also a crossover message. It's saying, I need this in order to feel safe, in order to feel loved, in order to feel happy. And starting to, I think it's, you already have it kind of coming out out of you. That's why it's not purely a brave thing when I talk about it, even though bravery does exist in this conversation. It's about just saying what you already know out loud and saying, I'm sorry, I need this. And if you care about me, will start to show up for trying and acknowledging that this is so important for me. And I will try to give you more too with what's important to you as well. But can't we have more together? So redefining of relationship, redefining of love, that's what you can have, but you have to actually let the universe, people around you, and to affirm your soul of, yeah, it's got to be different. It's got to be different. I need more. All right, Debbie. So that's what comes out. Jennifer, let's see. Jennifer's asking, Kelly, today's the 25, year 25. Any thoughts on the 25-25 dynamic? We honor repeating numbers that come up. Within numerology, we add in certain ways where sometimes certain numbers, when they're added up together, they don't always have emphasis. Like, for instance, the 25s don't have quite a powerful emphasis, but we still acknowledge them. So I love conversations like that because it helps us to understand the subtleties of numerology. and 25 is a 7 year. And I do think it's probably no coincidence. So I love that you're acknowledging a subtlety, Jennifer. A lot of people feel like a little bit drained more this year, a little bit quieter, a little bit more emotional, a little bit more withdrawn with the holidays. I've actually never seen, this is just my opinion, I've never seen so many people reluctant or forgetting to say happy holidays, or not as, they're positive, but it's like they're not as jubilant of like, oh, it's like this day. And sometimes it's like the 7 is, which is coming up, is all about, well, why? And the 7 is, what does it mean? The 7 is, what are we really celebrating? And I think a lot of people are acting like that strangely. Even people who are normally really excited about the holidays, I've seen them kind of acting that way. So, however it means to you, with what truth is, with what the why of why you do things, even on Christmas, even for the holidays, see what comes up. So maybe Jennifer, with her intuition, is highlighting the nature of 7, which it really does feel like that is in the mix somewhere. I really appreciate it. So yes, in traditional numerology, we don't always look at things like that, but they should be talked about, and they are leading us to other further calculations that maybe need more emphasis. With that said, everybody, thank you so much for being here. Yes, Debbie is saying 2026 is the year of the horse. It is the year of the horse. It's the year of the fire horse, everybody. That's a very intense year. That's a very intense year, traditionally. In Chinese astrology, a lot of people, when they have children with the fire horse, they're very almost afraid, because it's like, it's a very buck wild. When you have the horse, it's all about freedom, and it's about like, going for it. It's almost like 5 energy. It's like, I'm a unbridled, untamed stallion, right? I have power, and I'm gonna do what I want. And they're just these powerful, wild creatures, the horse, and they're autonomous. And then when you have the 5 in the mix, the fire is willful. It does what it wants. It can't be controlled even more, so it's an even more wild horse. So a lot of people in China, they don't always want their child, because sometimes it's the one-child policy, which they are enforced by, to necessarily have this combination. It's very interesting. So it's a very intense year coming up. I'm looking forward to it. We need some change, and the horse definitely ushers in that. Everybody, I will see you very soon. I'm going to be doing a holiday broadcast over at Sacred Spiral Network, kind of planning that. So you'll see us around. You'll see me around, and the readings and the love and the community will keep on coming. Thank you for being with me here today. Thank you, everybody. Kim Princess's Let's Go Buck Wild. That's hilarious. That is absolutely hilarious. Change, please come. Yes, please. Bye, Jessie Cat. Bye, K-Weezy. Bye, everybody. Bye, Ava. It's great to see you. Take care. Happy holidays. Bye. No, I'm supposed to be off.